Hello, welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel. For this week's video, I am going to be doing a family home in The Sims 4. And you might be thinking, wow, this girl does a lot of family homes. I didn't do one last week, so if you're not interested in family homes, go to my last video. It was a container home for an artist, but I finally got the high school years pack, and so I wanted to make a house for a family because I didn't want to do a run routine. And so we are starting off in the kitchen. This house is a little interesting at some points. I did add a basement, and I never add basements into my houses, and so we are just going to kind of be making this kitchen into kind of like a short U shape. And so we have fridge on the right, oven on the left, sink and dishwasher in the middle with prep space, of course. And so now we are in the dining room. This is a very open concept, and so this dining room is kind of like a hallway almost. I do exchange the table to be a 6-seater instead of an 8-seater just because it seemed a little too big for this space, and so I do go with a smaller table in the dining room. And so I wanted to use this darker color just because it seemed so bright, and so now we are just going to be adding upper cabinet and trying to kind of fill in the space a little bit more before we move in to the living room, adding all the necessary things. And I wanted it to be a lot of like prep space, at least for like 2 Sims to cook together, and so all the decorations just kind of get shoved in the corner, which I still feel like looks nice, still has that like kitchen details. And so now we are in the living room, and I really wanted to use the couches from the pack from the high school years pack, and I really like this one that has like the blanket tossed over it. Looks kind of cozy, and this pack does have a lot of like miscellaneous furniture because it's like hand-me-downs and that type of stuff. And so I wanted to add like a swinging chair. It doesn't actually swing, but like it gives the effect of it swinging. And so we are just going to be also using the matching like 2-seater chair with the swings just to kind of keep it a little bit cohesive. But I was also trying to go for like a miscellaneous look in the living room. These parents have probably inherited a little bit of furniture, and so we are just working on the office space. And this office is pretty small, but it gets the job done. And so it has a bookshelf, it has a bonsai tree, and you can see I'm working on the desk area, which will have a computer here in a moment. And it kind of was a bit hard to like come up with a style for this house, so I would say it's kind of traditional. And so we are just going to be adding pictures. The house I did want to make was going to be a lighthouse, but I couldn't fully figure it out, and so lighthouse it's still on my list of things to do, but not for this video. And so now we just put some awards above the computer. I thought that would be kind of like a fun, like got like promoted at their job, or their kids got like certificates for like a spelling bee or something. Oh, wish I had spelling bees in The Sims, but football's good too. And so now we are just kind of working on this like entryway area. I got some nice shoes and like a mirror, and so we are just trying to find some details to put on the table. I wasn't fully sure, like I have like 4 kids in this house and 2 parents, and so it's like 4 backpacks, but just seemed like too many backpacks like in that area. And so now we are just going to be adding some details, centering the mirror and going into this kind of nook space that I kind of turned into a music corner, adding another chair or 2-seater couch so your Sims can sit and play guitar. Actually, never mind, your Sims can't do that yet, but in theory, your Sims could sit and play guitar. And so now we are in the basement of the house, which I put 2 of the 4 kids down here. I was imagining these would be for 2 or like one set of twin boys. One's like a gamer, or I kind of imagine they would both be gamers, but one's into it a little bit more than the other, and so have a nice gaming setup for them with the 2 monitors, and then we have another desk for the other sim. Maybe they switch off from like doing their homework and playing games. I imagine maybe one of them could be like a streamer, and so I wanted to give a little bit of separation between these 2 rooms, and so I added this bookshelf. Maybe that's like another common interest they have, since it is like double-sided. Maybe one's like more sciencey books and one's more like gaming know-how books, and so we couldn't I couldn't figure out what's like color style of bed. The room's very orange, and so I wasn't like sure if I should embrace it or if I should kind of contrast that almost. And so you can see I have these other bookshelves, but I do get rid of those in a moment for a dresser. This pack also has a lot of good like clutter items, and so here's that dresser that I was talking about. I wanted to use this one that looked like it was painted on just because it seemed like more like a hand-me-down. Also, one of the other children is like an artist, and so I thought that would be kind of make sense. Like, oh, we don't really like this dresser. Could you paint it to help us like it a little bit more? And so we are just going to be adding some decorations on to this lower level. The reason I did this is just because I also never do like this like split floor plan, and I thought it'd be kind of fun to have like a study workspace and then a like sleeping homework, or not homework, but like a sleeping area. And so I did use the windows that you can open. So there's one in the bedroom and then one in the hallway. The one in the hallway also has a ladder so they can sneak out of the house or use it for emergencies. And so we are just going to be trying to find some gaming themed posters, and I did only try to use the high school years and base game in this house. I don't know for sure if that happened. I haven't looked to see how many packs I've used, but that was the goal when trying to make this house. Since The Sims is free currently until like October 17th, it would make sense like for like us as people who already have the pack to like do like either one pack builds or one pack and a base game build. And so we are just going to be working on this hallway space. And there's nothing really much in that hallway just because it is a hallway just to get into that one bedroom and into the window that opens up. There's also one like above the bed in the bedroom, but I'm not sure if that would like work because it's like you have to move the bed. And so now we are in this bathroom. This is the only bathroom I'm only showing you, and I wanted it to be a little bit different than like the upstairs bathrooms, and so I thought the basement could be like finished like afterwards, and so the materials weren't available as they were when I first built the house. And so now we are on the 3rd level, and we are in the 3rd bedroom. So this is the 1st bedroom on the 3rd floor. And so I wanted this to be like for like a tween girl. He's the youngest in the family, and so it has kind of more of a hand-me-down theme. Like her bedroom walls are yellow, but she inherited her bed and her bedspread from her older sister. And so we are just going to be adding some decorations onto the dresser. I was trying to like find like a theme for this girl, and I kind of landed on photography. And so we do have like a little like Polaroid camera on the dresser, and going to add just kind of some other cute little things that I think a tween girl would be into. And so we are just going to be adding this little like heart Polaroid camera. That's kind of where the camera reception love came from, is having that Polaroid like heart thing. And we did put it on the door, so you can just kind of walk through it, but I don't think they think it's like, they won't like, oh, I can't get through the door. So we are just going to be now working on this hallway. This hallway is a little bit bigger, and so it was a little bit harder to fill, but I just put in more pictures. If you want to add a chair when you download it, that's totally cool. And if you want to play in this house, it is on my EA ID, and the information will be down in the description. It is crfaldmo, and so we are now in the primary bedroom, and this area is kind of weird, kind of small. I needed to have the door or like one wall on an angle so the tween can get into her room, and so we are just going to be adding some decorations into this space, and it was a little bit hard. I kind of wanted this room to have more of a theme or like more like collective items than the rest of the house, and so we are just going to be putting a mirror in the corner, kind of keeping with this like blue theme, and so you're just going to be adding some details on to the walls, and then soon we are going to be going into the fourth and final bedroom. And so this is the room where I thought one of the daughter could be like interested in painting, and so I have a paint easel in the corner and wanted to use this kind of boho bed in this room, and so we are just going to be putting this dresser in, kind of keeping with a little bit more of that like Mitch and Max styles. And so I feel like there's a lot of good like paints in, or like paintings in this room that help with like artists. Like, oh, maybe she wants like art awards. I actually do get rid of those like ribbons, and so we are just going to be trying to find some cute little things. I feel like this girl in this room would be like a freshman, rather as her brothers, who are the gamers, would be like seniors, and the tween obviously would be in middle school. And so we are just going to be adding a side table, kind of going with that, like saying like, oh, I don't like this, I'm going to paint on the dresser and I don't like it. So we are getting close to the end of the video. If you want to play in this house, the information will be down in the description. Also, make sure to follow me on Instagram, crfaldmo, and I hope you all have an amazing week, and please make sure to come back next week for another Sims 4 video. Bye!